Alright. We're gonna do some, attempt to do some yoga. It's a guided yoga session.
You can stay on your toes and untuck the toes up to you.
Put this over.
If it's accessible, rest your forehead down to the mat. Let the heart melt down towards the ground. It doesn't matter if the chest or the heart or the forehead or anything touches the ground. Just find a place where you can relax for 5 or so breaths. Close your eyes. Simply breathe in and out through the nose. Take that time to arrive, to get ready for the practice. If you feel a sensation underneath your shoulders, where your armpits are, kind of like a stretching sensation, breathe into that area a little bit deeper. Slowly release, come into a tabletop. Come onto all fours. Stay on the toes for this one. Straighten your arms, send the hips back, so you're stretching out the toes and the feet. With the arms straight, start to move forward with the shoulders as far as you can so that you feel the wrists. Then send the hips back. Let's do 5 more just like that, forward and back. We will not be spending much time on our hands today in this class, so we don't need to be doing a very in-depth wrist warm-up, just a little bit to loosen up everything. Last 2. Last one. Very good. Come onto your toes. Walk the hands back. Come into a squat at the back of you. It's okay if your heels lift up. Maybe just take it as a goal to work towards a deep squat. A lot of times it has to do with ankle flexibility, and we are working on more videos to increase your range of motion and increase your mobility. So those are coming. If you are one of the ones that can't squat fully down, it's all good. Take a couple breaths here. Especially if this is not a position you are in a lot. I recommend being in a squat more, just throughout the day. Maybe make it a goal just to stay in a squat for 10 minutes every day. Start to straighten your legs, forward fold. Keep your knees bent if you want to. Bring the feet about hip width distance apart if you like. Grab opposite elbows or just interlace your arms, your hands here. Relax, just let the upper body be heavy, hang forward. I really like to integrate a practice like this one into my week after doing strong practices and lots of strength training and handstand training and all of the strong things. It's nice to take 1 or 2 rest days a week where I fully do a yin practice or restorative practice or something more hybrid like today, where it's more of a gentle flow, nothing too crazy, nothing too much. It still has lots of elements from a yin practice where you can fully relax and restore. Deep breaths in and out through the nose, breathe more into your belly. Also send some more breath into your upper back. Perhaps you feel a sensation of expansion in your upper back when you take an inhale. Focus more on that. If you like, straighten your legs more. Otherwise, no worries if they are bent or if they're bent a lot. As long as you're feeling some kind of gentle stretching sensation at the back side of your legs and your back, it's all good. Release your hands down, bend your knees, roll up through the spine to standing, nice and slow. From the bottom all the way up to the top, come up to standing, reach your arms up, take a deep breath in. With your right hand, grab your left wrist, stand tall, side bend to the right side. With your right hand, pull on your left arm, on your left wrist, pull that arm up and over your head to your right side. Breathe more into your left side body. Engage your glutes, stand nice and strong, stable. On your inhale, release through center, switch sides. Grab your right wrist, side bend over to the left. Again, engage your glutes, stand tall, find some more length through the right side body, reaching over to the left side. Inhale back to center, both arms up and over your head. Exhale, forward fold. Walk the hands forward for downward facing dog. Keep your knees bent for now, especially in the beginning, or perhaps you need to because your hamstrings are tighter. Then just stay there with the knees bent. Press into your palms, move the chest towards the thighs, firm down into the inner palms, the hands, use your fingertips to grip into the mat. Breathe into the sensation underneath your shoulders. We're trying to open up the shoulders here. And if you want, you can walk your dog, pedal one leg to the other, or straighten your legs more, but keep that nice and long line of energy going through the hands up towards the hips, lengthening out and opening the shoulders. Slow down the movements, again connect to a place of stillness within, and that starts with stillness through the body. Keep the breath going nice and slow through the nose.
Yeah.
Just 3 more now.
Sorry.
Lift your heels, bend your knees, walk the feet forward between your hands. Take a deep breath in, lift up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Step your right foot back. Heel to the left foot all the way to the left, so you're kind of at the edge of your mat. We're coming into a lizard lunge. Both hands down to the ground. If that's already too deep for you, then come onto blocks or pillows or something to elevate your body a little bit. You can also come onto the fingertips to get some more height here. Send the hips forward and down. Breathe into the right side of your hip, the front side of your right hip. If you like, move forward and back. You can also make a circle with the hips. Just see what feels good, explore, breathe. Now grab that strap if you have one nearby. Set the right foot down to the ground. Keep the right hand on the ground. Start to bend your right leg. Now with your left hand, you're reaching towards the right foot. Grab the pinky toe side of the right foot. Or if that's not accessible, you use that strap and you hook that around the foot. And then you pull that foot towards your hips. Send the right hip forward and down. As you gently pull that right foot with your left hand towards your hips, you start to stretch and lengthen the right quad, the right thigh. Keep pressing into your right palm. You're not just dumping the weight down into the right shoulder. Push the ground away more. Just find that balance of effort and ease where you can be stable but you're not overworking. Engage your right glute. If that's accessible and feels good for you, rotate your upper body more to the left. Perhaps look over your left shoulder. And stay for 3 more breaths. Try to create more length through the spine, so you're lengthening from the right knee all the way up through the right thigh, the hip, towards the right shoulder and the head. Very good. Release that right foot. Both hands down to the ground. Now step that right knee outside the left foot. Set the hips down. Come into something like a seated twist position. Bend your right leg a lot. That means bring the right foot close to your hips. And then sit kind of upright. Before we're coming into a seated twist, we first want to lengthen the left IT band. So with your right arm, you're giving your left leg a big hug. You hug all around that leg and then pull that leg more towards your chest. The left hip should lift up. You can either just hold that leg with one hand, or you can also grab your both palms and just pull that leg towards your chest. Now that you're here, you lengthen and reach actively the left hip more down towards the ground. And if you feel a sensation in your left outer hip, perhaps going up the left outer thigh, then that's all good. That's exactly what we're looking for. Let's stay here for 3 breaths. Perhaps you have to move around a little bit to find that sensation. But especially if you're new to this practice, this is great because usually you feel the sensation pretty fast and pretty strong in your body, and that's all we're looking for. Then connect the breath. Very good. Now release that left leg. Maybe the left hip melts down towards the ground. Perhaps it's touching the ground, but as you're moving into the seated twist, don't worry about the left hip being on the ground or not. In fact, if you're forcing the left hip down, although it naturally wants to lift up, you might just do more damage to the body than good for your body. So keep that in mind. Oftentimes in very traditional styles, they keep teaching to keep both hips on the ground, which is really not how the body is meant to move. And by forcing anything, you just enter very risky and dangerous territory. So stay away from that. Bring your left hand behind you towards the back of the mat. We're coming into a seated twist, so you can again hug that leg in if it's not accessible for you, or you hook that right forearm outside the left thigh, or the right triceps, or the upper arm outside the left thigh. Take a deep breath in to lengthen. Exhale, twist to the left. Let's do 3 more just like that with your own breath. Very good. Your inhale brings you back to face the front and out of that twist. Now readjust on your mat a little bit. Bring the right hip more to the right edge of your mat. Send that left leg back. We're coming into 90-90, or it's also called deer pose. It's similar to a pigeon variation, but not quite pigeon. It's a more, I think, accessible pose for most of us, and it also offers a lot more things we can do here. So your right leg is forward, both legs are in 90 degrees kind of angle, so your right shin to the right thigh is kind of 90 degrees, your right foot is more flexed than pointed, and same with your left foot and the left leg, left thigh, left shin, kind of like 90 degrees everywhere here. And just relax here, sit upright. We're looking for a sensation in the right outer hip, perhaps even in your right hamstring or right IT band underneath your right thigh. So perhaps that means you just stay here, or you melt the chest forward, or if your chest is already all the way down to the ground and you still don't feel anything, then you want to move that right leg more forward, so you're going to more than 90 degrees, and then you fold forward again. Perhaps that's the modification you need to take here. I'll just stay here with 90 degrees. Again, remember this is supposed to be a more chill and gentle practice, so no need to force yourself deep into the pose. Let's stay here for several breaths to make sure that you are comfortable, everything feels good. Give yourself time to ease into the pose. No need to come to your full depth right away. knowing that we will be here for a little longer, maybe 1 or 2 minutes total. If this is uncomfortable for you here and it's too much work to hold yourself upright, you can also put a couple of pillows between your right thigh and your chest, so you fill that space up with pillows so you can relax more into this pose. But if you already feel very open, come onto your forearms, close your eyes, breathe. Focus on the breath coming in and out through the nose. Actively send and guide that breath into any areas of your body where you feel it, where you feel the sensation, where you might feel like it needs some more healing. Send that force, that energy from the breath into that area. Let's take 5 more breaths here. It's really important to breathe nice and slow to activate your parasympathetic nervous system and move more into a state of relaxation and rest and recovery, especially if you lengthen that exhale. You actively contribute to that transition into that state. So see if you can let the exhale be a bit longer and slower than the inhale. Slowly release, push yourself back up. Rotate your knees to the left. Both heels are on the ground, the knees are lifted. Bring the soles of your feet together for butterfly pose. Grab your feet, open the knees up like a book, and then fold forward. Round your back as well, so you're not only stretching the lower body, but also your upper body and your back. Tuck your chin to the chest. Let's stay here for 5 breaths. Doesn't matter how deep you can go into this, how much you're folding forward. Maybe you are very much upright in this one. All I want to ask you is, do you feel a stretching sensation somewhere in your lower body, your hips, your hamstrings, or your back? If yes, then you're doing everything right. You're here to feel good and not to perform any poses that have to look a certain way. I think we are past that times of yoga practice where it has to look a certain way. You need to make this work for your body. Feel good, breathe. By doing that, you reap all the benefits from the practice, and not by looking a certain way because you saw this in a book or magazine. No one cares. Release, push yourself back up. Let's rotate to face the front of the mat. Cross your left ankle or shin in front of your right. Roll over your knees. Come back to a tabletop. And then to a downward dog. Let's all meet in downward facing dog. Waste no time arriving, settling into the pose, push the ground away. Maybe your knees are bent, that's fine. Externally rotate the arms, push the ground away. Just 2 more breaths, firm into the inner hands. Feel your fingertips. Bend your knees, walk the feet forward, between the hands. Take a deep breath in, lift up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Step your left foot back to the back of the mat. Heel to the right foot to the right for lizard lunge on the other side. Stay on your fingertips if you want to, or come onto the palms, or if you feel like it, come to the forearms, of course. You do you. Move the hips around, forward and back, maybe in a circle, both directions, whatever feels good. We're just here for about 3 more breaths. Beautiful. Set the left knee down to the ground. Start to bend your left leg. Use that strap if you need to. Bend your left leg. Use your right hand to reach for that left foot. Grab the pinky toe side or throw that strap over the foot. Then by pulling on that foot towards the left hip, you stretch and lengthen the left quad. Send the left hip forward and down. Engage your left glute. Gently press into your left palm to keep the left shoulder engaged to support you. Breathe into your left quad, the left thigh, which you are currently lengthening and stretching. If that feels good, or if it's accessible for you, rotate your upper body to the right. Perhaps look over your right shoulder, but don't worry if that's not accessible for you, it really doesn't matter. We're looking for that thigh stretch on the left side. Slowly release. Both hands down. Step that left knee outside the right ankle, outside the right foot. Now I am moving a little bit away from the camera, but we have been here before, but on the other side, so just listen more than looking at the screen. Keep the right hip lifted. If it wants to, bend your bottom leg, your left leg a lot. With your left arm, hug your right leg tight into the chest. Give your right leg a hug. The right hip is for most people lifting up. That's great. Actively lengthen and reach that right hip down towards the ground until you feel a sensation in the right outer hip and perhaps the right IT band somewhere in your right hip area. And stay there. Breathe nice and slow into that area, into the sensation. Perhaps it takes some more time to move around to find that. And maybe you will not find it at all because you're very open or you don't need the pose here. You ultimately will feel it where you need it the most, and perhaps you will not feel it today, that's fine. But you can still focus on the breath, right? So you can still enter this state of meditation. Let go of that right leg. Let the right hip release down, but perhaps till it stays lifted for you. Don't force it down. Listen to the body. Come into a seated twist. Bring the right hand behind you towards the back side of your mat, or more behind you, perhaps off the mat. Use your left forearm or your upper arm to hook into and outside the right thigh for a seated twist. Lengthen out through the spine. Inhale. Exhale, twist, rotate to the right. Repeat that. Move with the breath. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to rotate. Twist. 2 more. Inhale, release. Very good. Readjust on your mat. Bring your left hip more to the left edge of your mat. Send your right leg back for 90-90 or in yin yoga. This is also called spear pose. Find what works for you. Start with what worked on the other side, but know that both sides are of course different. You might need to do something completely different on this side. Check for those 90-degree angles, somewhat 90 degrees. Keep the feet dorsiflexed, so not pointed, so that instead the toes are more pointing towards the knees on both feet. Settle in, take your time. Walk the hands forward, or use the pillows, or come onto the forearms. Same as the other side. Take your time to arrive and to surrender into the pose. Keep focusing on the breath in and out through the nose. And stay for about 2 minutes. Come back to the breath. As I mentioned before, can you breathe a little slower out than you breathe in? Lengthen your exhale in comparison to your inhale. Close your eyes if that feels good for you. Five more breaths here. There's a whole lot of fun stuff you can do in this position, 90-90. We have lots of exciting content coming where we are working a lot on mobility and joint health and joint strength in this position. Really excited to share that stuff with you. Slowly release, push yourself back up. Move both knees over to the right, kind of like a windshield wiper to the right. And extend both legs. We're coming into a seated straddle position. Once you find your position here, walk your hands forward into a seated straddle forward fold. Let's stay for about 10 breaths here. Nice and easy, relax into it, melt into it. Send the breath into your belly and then out into the upper back. Feel how the lungs expand. That perhaps slight stretching sensation in your upper back area as you take the inhale. If you want to go deeper, melt deeper, that's fine. Just don't force anything. Take the last 2 breaths to slowly come out of the pose. Walk the hands back. Bring your hands underneath your knees to help the legs bend. Rotate to face the front of the mat. Bring the right ankle and shin in front of the left. Come into a seated position. If you feel more comfortable sitting on a pillow or block or anything to elevate the hips, then do that now. Stay where you are facing the computer screen. I will just rotate to the side so you can see me better. Or your TV or whatever you're watching on, iPad or phone. Find a position that's comfortable for you. We're going to be here for several minutes to finish up our practice with a breathing exercise, pranayama, called Nadi Shodhana, alternating nostril breathing, and then continue with a meditation together. And if you want to come into Shavasana afterwards, you of course can and absolutely should. We will use our right hand, and from the right hand you will use the right thumb and the right ring finger. You can connect the right ring finger and the pinky finger and kind of keep the index finger and the middle finger relaxed, so that with your right thumb you close the right nostril. With your right hand ring finger, which is connected to the pinky finger, you close the left nostril. So we'll be alternating between the thumb and the ring finger. Exhale all the air out first, sit nice and tall. Start with the right thumb, close the right nostril, start to inhale through the left side. At the top you switch, close the left nostril, open the right, exhale. Same side, inhale on the right. At the top you switch, close the right side, open the left, exhale. Same side, inhale on the left. At the top you switch, exhale to the right. Same side, inhale. At the top you switch, exhale to the left. Inhale through the left. At the top you switch, exhale to the right. Just keep it going. Inhale to the right. At the top you switch, exhale to the left. I think you got the pattern now. Just keep going on your own. Repeat. Keep it going, keep breathing through one nostril at a time. Just keep alternating between the right side and the left side. Keep breathing. We're synchronizing the right side and the left side of the body. It's a very soothing and calming pranayama to ground down, ideal to get you ready for meditation. Or if you find yourself in a busy situation in your mind, do this breathing exercise to calm down, relax. You're not forcing the air in and out to the nose, you're just breathing with your natural rhythm, natural pace. And focus fully on the sensation of the air flowing through one nostril at a time. Just keep going wherever you are. continue just for a couple more rounds. Pranayama is such an important part of the practice and of your overall health. But who is teaching you, or who has taught you in your life how to breathe properly? At least I didn't learn it in school, or no one taught it to me, my parents, or anyone as a kid or growing up. But it's just so important. And it's so great that we have the practice of yoga and all these tools to help us breathe better, be healthier, and feel better in our body. Let's finish up the round where we are at. Your round ends and you finish up with an exhale through the left nostril. That's when you just put both hands on top of your knees. Keep your eyes closed. Sit nice and tall. Whenever you exhale through the left nostril, finish up. Now you're breathing again through both nostrils, freely through the nose. Maybe you notice some improvement in the pace of your breath, the depth of your inhale, the quality of your breathing. Unfortunately, a lot in today's yoga classes, especially in studios, it's all asana driven, it's all about movement, but very little, if any, about pranayama and breathing exercises or meditation. But know that pranayama and meditation are, I would even say, more important than the movements and the asanas that you do. Of course, it's a combination of everything, together with sleep and diet and your stress level and your lifestyle, and there are so many things that go into holistic health, and movement is very, very important, of course. Meditation and pranayama are just so powerful, and that's where the real magic and oftentimes the biggest breakthroughs and transformations in your life happen. This is why we share pranayama and meditation so much in our classes, to hopefully encourage you to pick up the practice and to integrate those into your daily routine. Notice the breath coming in and out through the nose. Send the breath down through the nose into your belly, so that with your inhale, the belly moves forward. And with your exhale, the belly moves more towards the spine. Very effortless, without forcing anything. Sit tall and breathe. Focus on the air coming in and out through the nose, or focus on the belly moving forward and back. For a lot of us, this is a very challenging practice. So notice if you already made any judgments about this practice, about you sitting here. Maybe you told yourself in your head, this is very challenging, this is very hard, meditation is not for me, the voice in my head gets so loud, I can barely endure it and sit here. Know that this is all completely normal. If you're new to this practice and you have not train your mind enough to be still in meditation, then this is probably the most challenging thing you might have done in your whole life. Sitting with yourself is oftentimes very challenging, but it doesn't have to be. In the end, it's just you sitting with yourself. We want to make this a beautiful experience, that you are excited to spend time with yourself. Know that you will get there with practice. It oftentimes takes months to finally be comfortable with that voice in your head. And really what happens is that the voice has always been there. But when you sit and you're supposed to breathe, that might be the first time where you actually notice the voice in your head. The chatter, all the stories it's creating, telling you. It's always been there, but you might not have realized it. Through the practice, you will learn that this voice is not you. You are the one that is aware of the voice. To learn to separate yourself and not identify yourself any longer with that voice is already a big breakthrough. But that will not happen by just knowing this. That will happen through action, through experience. And that experience you will create through meditation, through practice. Every day, daily practice. And there's ups and downs, there's good days and great days. But there's never a bad meditation. The only bad meditation is the one you did not do. Keep focusing on the breath. For the rest of the day and perhaps the next days, I invite you to just be aware of the voice in your head. As you go through the day and your day-to-day activities, notice the voice in your head. What is it telling you? What is it judging? Maybe it says this is good, this is bad. Something comes up from the past, something from the future, or going into the future. Once you realize that, take a step back. Notice that this is not you. You are the one observing this voice in your head, talking the whole time. Once you took that step back and you realized that you are the one observing all of this that's happening, take a couple deep breaths. Come back to what currently is. What you feel within you and not what you hear. I invite you to stay longer in this meditation. encourage you to practice sitting down, breathing, seated meditation every day, or add meditation at the end of your practice or workout or training or whatever you're doing. Whenever it fits your schedule, just make it happen every day. Just 10 minutes. It's a great start. Feel free to stay here or come onto your back for Shavasana. Finish up your practice however you want. Thank you very much for practicing with me today. Thank you for letting me share my practice with you. And I'll see you in the next one.